everyone, and welcome back to the Mind, Body, Soul Evolution. My name is Debbie, and today I am presenting you a yoga class. So today is the 12th of March. It is the day before the full moon lunar eclipse in Virgo. So it is the red moon. There's a lot of energies happening. A lot of tensions, right? So I thought I'd bring you a bit of a mindfulness movement practice today. Now, eclipses traditionally are here. Sorry, I have a little, my allergies are kicking in. Traditionally are meant to highlight things that we haven't been paying attention to make us take action where we haven't been, and to maybe cut things off that are no longer good for us, kind of like the death card, right? In the tarot, card number 13 is like letting go or cutting this off because there's a greater path waiting for us. The thing is, as people, we tend to get a little stubborn. We tend to think that we know what we're doing. So if you're taking class today, or feel free to grab a couple blocks. I have 2 blocks. I do have a crystal bowl here, and I have my amethyst. I have a clear sphere, a little crystal ball, as you will. I have a candle, and as in last time, I'm going to pull a card from a yogic path, since this is our yoga class, and we'll see what guidance is being sent to us for this full moon lunar eclipse in Virgo. So I hope everyone is doing well. The eclipse energies have been intense. We have this full moon lunar eclipse. We have a partial solar eclipse coming up on the 29th. We have Mercury going retro. We have the full moon eclipse the 13th into the 14th. And I'm on the eastern United States. It's like 2:30 in the morning on the 14th for the eclipse. Then on the 14th, Mercury goes retrograde. We have Venus is retrograde. We have the spring equinox. We change the zodiacal calendar from the end of the year to the beginning of the year. It's a lot happening. And March is really kind of meant to tumble us around a little bit, right? Like throw us into uncomfortable situations, because maybe we've been holding on to a comfort zone for a little too long. And for growth to happen, sometimes, growth is very uncomfortable. Okay. Oh, Saraswati. So let's look up Saraswati. And let's see what it says. I can give you my summation, right? But it's just probably better for me to read it from the book, because I would always like to give the interpretation that the creator of the deck wants you to have. So she is a deity, page 97, if anyone is into numerology. If the number 97 means anything to you, and 9 and 7 is 16. If 16 means anything to you, that reduces down to the number 7. So maybe 7 is a number for you. So Saraswati, goddess of creativity, intuition, and insight. Saraswati appears when you have surrendered in creativity, the endless stream that we can only catch glimpses of, but can feed us for life. She is the sacred river, flowing with divine wisdom, nourishing us with nectar for the soul, art, music, dance, and literature. You may draw upon Saraswati when new ideas are flourishing and you are channeling universal wisdom. So this is a really great card for all these changes that are happening, right? Saraswati appears in the ingenuous moment when you think of something straight from the heavens, when you lose yourself in dance, when you become one with the music. She is the very source of all inspiration, embodying the cosmos through communication, meditation, intuition, speech, and sound. Saraswati has come to you to deliver the message to pursue that creative idea with full force. You are fully supported by her blessings. So if you are getting intuitive nudges from the universe or thoughts of inspiration that seemingly come out of nowhere, right? That's your intuition. So you're being asked to lean into that, even if you don't know what that is. So let's start our practice. I'm just going to close this up. I will leave Saraswati at the top of my mat. And you're always, and the colors of her kind of match the colors of my block. You probably can't see, and my mat. And you're always welcome. If you have your own set of cards, if you'd like to pull a card for yourself and just set it at the top of your mat as a reminder and inspiration. So we're going to start today in reclined cobbler's pose or Supta Baddha Konasana. So we're going to lay down on our spine. I'm going to move the crystal bowl out of the way a little bit. So we're going to lay down, feet to the mat, and that your knees fall out to the sides at the soles of the feet together. And I have blocks. If you have blocks or pillows, you can place them underneath your thighs, just so that there's not a whole lot of stress on your inner thighs. So let your eyes close, let your arms reach up and overhead. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, bend your elbows, hands join to opposite elbows, and exhale, just let your arms rest overhead. Let the pelvis come slightly forward, let your eyes get nice and quiet. Let the chin draw slightly towards your chest. And just come into your breath and just start to pay attention. Start to slow the breath down. So taking your time, we're not rushing here. We're just starting our practice. So slowly breathe in. Maybe exhale through your mouth. Start to press away any tension that might be in the way of you moving forward. And draw a slow breath in. And open your mouth, exhale. And let it go. And then draw a slightly longer breath in. And pause at the very top of this breath. And then slowly through the nose. And let it go. And take a few moments here, just breathing into your body. Notice the firm support of the earth underneath of you. Notice the stretch in the arms, the opening of the heart as we lie here. I want to take a few more moments. If the stretch on the inner thighs is too much, then you can just gently place your feet on the floor, draw your knees in. I'm going to start to remove my blocks. And you always have that option as well. Now let's take 5 more breaths. And if you find that the spine is arching up, draw the pelvis forward. So you have a nice flat spine on the earth. And if your hands are still on your opposite elbows, start to release that. Start to reach your arms overhead. Start to wiggle the fingers, maybe circle the wrists. And then as you inhale, gently place your feet on the mat, draw your knees together. Open your feet as wide as your mat. I'm going to move this block out. And then lower your arms out to the sides to shoulder height and just sway your legs side to side. So coming over to the right side, and maybe you pause for a moment. There's a stretch on the left quad and a slight release in the left lower back, left upper hip. Come back to center as you inhale. Let your feet connect to the earth. Then exhale, knees to the left. A stretch on that right quad. Again, the right lower back, the right upper hip. And come back through center, inhale. Exhale, knees to the right. And go ahead and just take this at your pace. Just gently swaying your legs side to side. If you need to go faster, if you need to pick up the pace, then by all means do that. If a slower pace feels better for you, if you have a lot of stress happening right now in the mental space or the emotional space, you might want to go slow. If you have a lot of energy that needs to burn off, then maybe you want to go a little quicker. So we'll take a few more moments here. Always honor yourself in your practice. If a direction is given to you and your body is not there today, or if you're going through something emotional and it's just going to push that boundary too far, then always back off, right? This is your practice. I just have the honor of being able to suggest what your body might want to do today. And once you have evenness on both sides, bring your feet back, bring your knees back to center, walk your feet in a little bit. Draw the right knee into your chest, hands behind the right thigh, but keep the shoulders onto the mat. And pause just for a moment. And then gently extend the right leg to the sky. Hands can stay behind the thigh, or you can slide them up towards the foot or ankle. We just don't want to lift. We want to keep the shoulders and head planted down. If it feels good, you can take some slow circles in the ankle, circling both directions. You want to point and then flex, warming up the calves, the shins. We tend to forget to warm up our shins, right? And our calves. We tend to get very concentrated on our hamstrings and quads, and we forget that this area needs attention as well. Bring the right foot to stillness. Bend the right knee, dip it to the outside of the body, right hand to the outside edge of the right foot, dip that right thigh down. Now if this is uncomfortable, you can place a block there for your thigh to land on. I'm not going to use that today, but that's always your option. Both shoulders drawing back. So if you find your shoulders roll forward, just roll them back. We'll take 3 more breaths. And just see where that thigh wants to go. So we're not forcing it to come down. We're just allowing expansion and stretch. Take 1 more breath. Exhale, let the breath go. Then inhale, take the right ankle on top of the left thigh, arms out to the sides, and roll to the left side. So you're on the left hip and thigh. Right foot plants down. So you can, for a deeper outer hip stretch, you can take the left hand on the outside of the right leg and draw it in. If you want an inner thigh stretch, you can press that right thigh away. Or maybe just one in neutral. And 2 more breaths. So, mindfully moving this morning or today, but with gentleness. Nice, everyone, come back to center. Uncross, place the right foot on the mat. Draw the left knee in. So bring your hands behind your thigh to start. So we're not putting too much compression on the knee, and hug that thigh in. Shoulders draw back. And then gently extend the left leg skyward. And again, hands wherever. If it feels more comfortable to leave them on the thigh, if that has greater support for you, keep them there. Or you can slide them up. Again, we're not lifting. The shoulders are sliding down. And slow circles, if that feels good to you. That knee is soft, right? Even though the leg is extended, we're still not locking out the joint. Just slow circles, maybe point and flex. Warming up the calf, the shin. And then let that come into stillness. Half happy baby on this side. Hand to the outer edge of the foot. Thigh dips. And again, you don't have to take it anywhere it's not ready to go. Foot is flexed though. Sole of the foot to the sky. And just close your eyes if you can, if that feels comfortable. And just breathe in and exhale into the inner thigh, and let the exhale start to relax your muscles a little more. And draw a slow breath in. Exhale, let it go. Maybe an audible exhale. And then take that left ankle on top of the right thigh. Arms sweep out to the sides. And into exhale, floating over to the right side. Right outer hip and thigh touch. Arms shoulder height or lower. If we have our arms higher than our shoulders, it creates stress. And again, if you want an outer hip stretch, right hand to the outside of the left thigh and draw that in. If you want an inner thigh stretch, press that knee away, or just keep a nice neutral leg. And take 2 more breaths. Inhale, come back to center. Take both knees, draw them into your chest, hands behind the thighs, and let the calves fold down over the backs of your hands. Draw those legs in, and then just rock yourselves up to have a nice seat. I'm going to turn this way. Inhale, let your arms sweep out and up. Let your palms join overhead, hands to heart center as you exhale. If you would like to set an intention for your practice, or an intention or creating a mantra as you move through the energies of this whole month of March, but especially for this full moon lunar eclipse, by all means feel free to do that. And inhale, palms press skyward. Exhale, take your hands down to the mat behind you, lean into your palms, lift the chest, wrap the shoulders, peel the heart open, chin lifts up. And 2 more breaths, let the elbows soften, maybe lean back a little bit. And pressing into those hands, come to sit up nice and tall, inhale. Arms sweep back up, exhale, right hand down, left arm reaches over. And back up through center, inhale. And left hand down, right arm reaches. So take your time, let the arms feel like they're floating. And back up through center, inhale, right hand down, left arm reaches. And back up through center, inhale, left hand down, right arm reaches. A little change up here, come back through center, inhale. Take the right hand, sweep it back by the right hip. Left arm reaches forward and up, lift your hips off the mat. Bring those hips back down, arms sweep out and up, inhale. Left hand down, right arm sweeps over towards the left. As you bring the arm up, lift the hips off the mat. And if that's not available to you, to keep your hips down, right? If you're not feeling that, this is a very awkward feeling movement. Exhale, bring those hips back down, arms sweep back overhead. And exhale, right hand down by the right hip, left arm sweeps over towards the floor, over towards the right, and then as our arm comes up, the hips rise. Hips come back down, inhale, both arms sweep overhead. And exhale, left hand down, right arm sweeps down, as it sweeps to the left and up, you lift the hips. Nice work, yogi. Exhale, bring the hips back down. I'm turning towards the top of my mat. We're going to transition to tabletop hands and knees. I just naturally roll over my knees. You can sweep your legs out to the sides if that feels better. I'm going to just walk back a little bit. Finding that alignment, shoulder, elbow, wrist, hip and knee. Spread your fingers and cat-cows, inhale, or cow-cats. Arch the spine, lift the heart up. Elbow creases turn slightly forward. Then exhale, so rounding through the low back, drawing the pelvis forward, drawing the chin down towards your chest. This is a nice big exhale. Pause here and get a stretch between your shoulder blades, opening the back of the heart. For some of us, maybe that area is going to be opening during this eclipse. Letting go of some old emotions, right, or some old relationships. Inhale, draw the chest forward, lift your sits bones. Maybe tuck your toes under if that feels good. And exhale, rounding through the back, chin draws down. And again, inhale, arching. Sliding the shoulders, maybe the chest draws a little more forward through the gateway. And exhale, rounding. chin to chest. And this time, as we inhale, we're just going to shift forward into a high cobra. I'm going to walk my knees back a little bit. Feet are a little wide. Soften your elbows and roll down. And slide your hands back a little bit. Inhale, press up through cobra. And exhale, release down. So arms are hugging in. Elbows are pointing straight back, so they're not out to the sides. Roll down, forehead to the mat. Then inhale, roll up. And exhale, roll down. Last one, inhale, roll up. Hang out here for 3 breaths. Let your thumb and index finger anchor. You want to get a little sway, right? Cobras sway when they're upright to find a balance in their bodies, right? And then come into stillness, roll your body down. We're going to stack our arms in front of us. Forehead on the back of your arms, lift your feet. And just sway your legs side to side. I'm just going to lift my head so I can look. Let the legs sway, but you can keep your forehead down, please, so you're not crunching your neck. Maybe you circle those legs. So releasing out that low back, right? And then circle the opposite direction. Then bring your legs to stillness, feet release down to the mat. Tuck your toes under, draw your legs together, lift your head up. Slide your hands back so they're in line with your floating ribs. Inhale, tabletop, hands and knees. Exhale, make whatever adjustments you need. Left hand plants down, right arm sweeps out and up. Inhale. Thread the needle, right arm threads under. Now slide the arm over, bring the right shoulder to the mat. Left hand can stay planted or you can extend it forward. Whatever feels good for you, you can bring it behind the back for a bit of a bind. We'll take 3 more breaths. So let your eyes get nice and quiet. Just enjoy this little twist in your spine. And draw a slow breath in. And exhale, if that left arm is extended, slide it back in. Press into that left hand. Right arm sweeps back up. The right hand comes down. Plant the right hand down, left arm sweeps out and up, inhale. Left arm slides under the right, thread the needle. Take this as you need it. I like to extend my arm. Maybe you want yours behind your back. And close your eyes. Breathe in and out. Draw a slow breath in. If that right arm is extended, exhale, slide it back. And press into that right hand, inhale, come back up, left arm sweeps out and up. And left hand comes back onto the mat. And let's start to move a little more into our practice. I'm going to move my blocks forward. We're coming into downward facing dog. If you find that downward facing dog is hard on your arms or your wrists, I invite, or even your legs, I invite you to grab a set of blocks, place your hands on the blocks, tuck your toes under, and then lift up. Close your eyes, maybe pedal your legs out, maybe sway your hips, or find stillness, what feels accessible to you right now. We'll take 5 breaths here, or 5 more breaths. Let the knees soften as you lift your sits bones. Let the chin draw down toward your chest. Maybe you rock the head side to side. And if there's any thoughts in your mind that are troublesome or that get in the way of your evolution, of you moving forward into the next phase, maybe you allow gravity just to dump those thoughts out of the crown of your head. If you have movement, start to make your way into stillness. 2 more breaths. Maybe your hands press into the blocks or the mat and you get a little more space between you and the earth. Then as you inhale, lift your heels and bend your knees and just step your feet forward between your hands. I'm going to remove my blocks. You're always welcome to keep yours. And then bend your knees, chin to chest, and take your time, roll yourself up. Shoulders slide back and they slide down, mountain pose or Tadasana. Let your palms turn forward. So take a moment, let yourself get grounded here. Feel the texture of your mat under your feet. Maybe you feel the temperature on your skin. I don't know if you can see, maybe you float your toes up, you spread them wide and you float them back down again. Let your palms turn forward. If your shoulders are open, palms can turn outward. And ribs peeling off the hips, heart rises to the sky, chin lifts, arms sweep out and up, inhale. And then bend your knees, swan dive forward. And as you inhale, bring your palms onto your shins, coming into a flat spine or blocks, right? Palms to blocks. And release down as you exhale, bend your knees, stepping back, downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your heels and roll your body into plank, top of a push-up. Let's bring our knees down, toes point back, supported plank, shift forward and lower all the way. Roll your shoulders back, let the toes point, tops of the feet into the mat. Press up through cobra, a nice high cobra. Take a breath in, and let it go. So inhale, let's climb to tabletop. And tuck your toes under and then peel your hips back to downward facing dog. Take 3 breaths. Nice and slow. A little pedal here if that feels good. Inhale, lift your heels and bend your knees. Look to the top of the mat and step your feet forward. If you feel like a hop is available to you or a jump, take that. Palms to shins. Make your way to your flat spine as you breathe in. Release down on the exhale, swan dive up. And this time let's cactus our arms. Arms bending about 90 degrees. Shoulders down, arms draw back. Heart rises, chin lifts. Ribs peeling off the hips. Only go back to your body's ability. And then press into your feet, engage your core, tall mountain, arms reach. Swan dive forward. And then flat spine, palms to shins, take a breath. Release that breath, step back, down dog. The pace has picked up a little bit, right? That's okay, we'll slow it down. And lift your heels, inhale, rolling into plank. So last time I brought my knees down, you're welcome to do that. I'm going to keep my knees up this time. So we'll shift our shoulders forward. We lower all the way down. Shoulders roll back, point the toes back. High cobra. Take a breath and let it go. And 2 more breaths. 1 more breath in. Exhale, we're going back to downward facing dog. If you need to, if it feels better to climb through tabletop to get there, climb to tabletop. I'm going to tuck my toes and lift my hips and peel back. But you take this however it is you need it. And take 3 breaths. Martina is trying to grab my little hair tie. Inhale, right leg lifts to the sky. Maybe the knee bends, maybe the heel falls towards your hip. Then lift that left heel, get really tall. And exhale, step the right foot forward between your hands. Knee aligns over ankle, high crescent, come on up. So once you come up, the pelvis draws forward so the shoulders can align over the hips. If you have trouble with that, soften that back knee. Let your arms reach. Let your shoulders plug in. Take 1 more breath. Left heel spins down, warrior 2. So if your hips are shifting to the left like mine are, just shift them towards the right to square off. Reverse. Left hand down, right arm reaches. Both shoulders slide down. I'm going to turn my right palm to face the back of the mat. Then inhale, right leg extends. And exhale, lift the left toes, turn the left toes out, bend that left knee, side angle. I know, an awkward transition, right? One more deep breath in. Exhale, take the right hand down, pivoting onto the ball of the right foot. Left toes face the back of the mat. Left arm reaches. The right knee can come down if that feels better for you. Take one more breath. Exhale, take the left hand down to the mat. Press into that right foot, step the right foot up to meet the left forward fold to the back of your mat. Take a moment, hands to elbows, maybe open your feet a little bit and sway this out. So let's start to catch up our mind with our movement, right? And then if you have movement, come into stillness. Let your arms release down to the mat. Walk your feet together. Palms to shins, flat spine, deep breath. And release down, exhale. Swan dive up. Strong legs, softness in the knees. No arms sweep overhead, hands to heart center, exhale. So if you set an intention at the top of our practice, maybe you start to call that back in. Remember why you show up, why you do your practice. Then as you inhale, press your palms skyward. Let's cactus those arms. 90 degrees. Again, arms back, shoulders down, ribs peeling off the hips, heart lifts, chin lifts. Then engaging through the core back to that tall mountain. Swan dive, exhale. And as you inhale, palms to shins, flat spine. And release, then exhale, stepping back, downward facing dog. And 2 more breaths. Breathe in. Maybe an audible exhale. Inhale, lift your heels, roll into plank. Knees up or down. Let's make this a chaturanga this time. Like slight progressions, right? So we went from supported plank to full plank to lowering all the way down to a chaturanga, so halfway. And make this an up dog if that's available to you. If not, high cobra, right? Downward facing dog. And let the left leg lift. Let the knee bend. And let that right heel get really tall. Take a breath in. Exhale, let the left foot step forward. Knee aligns over the ankle. High crescent, come on up. Arms reach. And again, I tend to overarch in the spine because that's what my body does. If I soften that back knee and draw the pelvis forward, I can get that shoulder hip alignment. Take a breath in, spinning open to warrior 2. And again, my hips are shifting to the right. I shift them slightly to the left and reach it out. Shoulders slide down. Left palm turns up, reverse. Shoulders melting. Right hand can land on the leg, or you can bring it back behind you for a half bind. Inhale, left leg extends. Hold, exhale. Left toes turn to the top of the mat. Right knee bends. Make your way into the side angle on the right side. So let the right toes open up so they're not turning inward. Take one more breath. Exhale, take the left hand down. Right arm skyward. And nice deep opening here. One more breath in. Exhale, take the right hand down and step the left foot up to meet the right, forward fold. Inhale, palms to shins, flat spine. And release down, exhale, let's bend our knees. Chin to chest, let's roll this one up. You have the option of a swan dive. Shoulders back, shoulders down. Let the pelvis come forward. Close your eyes, take 2 breaths. Reconnect back to the earth. Reconnect back to you by tuning into your breath. Palms turn outward. Shoulders melt. A wiggle in the fingers. Peel the heart up. Peel the chin up. Arms sweep overhead, inhale. Cactus, exhale. Inhale, engaging through the core to come up to that tall mountain. Swan dive, exhale. We'll do that whole thing again with a little add-on. Flat spine, palms to shins or hands to blocks. And exhale, stepping back. Downward facing dog. And lift your heels, inhale. Roll into plank. Take whatever option you want, knees up or down, and you'll lower halfway or all the way. I'm going to come forward into a chaturanga. I'm coming into the up dog. Knees are off the mat, right? Down dog. 3 breaths. Take your time. We picked up the pace a little bit, so let's kind of take our time in this transition, right? This is mindfulness movement. So let's be really mindful of how we do these things. When you're ready, right leg lifts. So keep the leg extended but open the hip. Now if you want, you can bend the knee heel towards your hip. Lift that left heel, get really tall. Then exhale, we're going to close the right hip, draw the right thigh in towards the ribcage. Start to shift forward as we step that right foot forward. Back to that high crescent, come on up. And again, I tend to overarch here, so I soften the back knee, draw the pelvis forward. Arms extend, shoulders soften. One more breath. Warrior 2, exhale. My hips are shifting to the left, so I'm just going to shift them a little bit to the right. Reverse. Take this however it is comfortable for you. Maybe gaze up towards that right hand or gaze forward. Then inhale, just extend that right leg. To reverse triangle. Start to lift the right toes. Turn them to the top of the mat. Start to lift the left toes. Side angle pose on the left. So a little transition here. Take one more breath in. Exhale, take the right hand down. Coming onto the ball of the right foot. Left arm spins open. Shoulders away from the neck. Chest draws slightly forward. And one more breath. Exhale, take the left hand down. Coming into pyramid pose, we're going to extend that left leg. Right foot steps in slightly. A great place for your blocks or hands down. Chin towards your chest. Shoulders away from the neck, elbows are soft. Front knee is soft, back heel is probably hovering a little bit off the mat. And 2 more breaths. And just kind of exhale and surrender your body into this pose and just see what happens. And fingertip, come onto your fingertips. As you inhale, let the arms extend, lift the chest, lengthen the spine. And exhale, right foot steps up to meet the left. And bend your knees, sink your hips, chair pose, Utkatasana. So hips draw back, pelvis forward, knees are behind the toe line. And inhale, tall mountain. Again, a cactus in those arms. Opening the heart. As we are grounded though, right? Sometimes if we are having some emotional difficulties or emotional memories coming up, start being grounded and then allow that heart space to open. And inhale, press into those feet, tall mountain. And swan dive forward. And inhale, flat spine. So I'm going to keep my fingertips to the mat this time. I'm feeling a little more open. You're always welcome palms to shins or palms to blocks. And stepping back, downward facing dog. Take 2 more breaths. So I like to pedal in between. If stillness feels better for you, then hang out in stillness, right? Then lift your heels, rolling into plank, inhale. Chaturanga, exhale. Up dog as you breathe in. Down dog as you let go. Adjust whatever it is you need to adjust. And inhale, left leg lifts. Keep the leg long as you spin that hip open. And then if you want, you can bend the knee heel towards your hip. Inhale, lift that right heel, get tall. Exhale, we're going to close that left hip as that thigh draws in towards the rib cage. Exhale, left foot steps forward. High crescent, come on up. Melt your shoulders, exhale. As I start to shift my body. Take a breath in and spinning open to warrior 2. My hips are shifting to the right, I'm shifting them to the left. Shoulders down. So let the arms be nice and soft. So in the middle of practices, especially if you find there's a lot of strength in a practice, find pockets of softness. That palm turns up, reverse, shoulders down. So maybe close your eyes. Maybe you breathe into that left lung, let it get as expansive as it can. Inhale, just hold everything, extend that left leg. Let the shoulders melt, exhale. Lift the left toes, inhale, turn them to face the long edge of your mat. Right toes lift, they face the front of the mat, right into that side angle pose. This is a little easier than last time. Take 1 more deep breath in. Exhale, sweep the left hand down. Left palm down, coming onto the ball of the left foot. Right arm sweeps up. And you can always bring that back knee to the mat if that feels good for you. Shoulders away from the neck. That left hand can always be on a block if that feels more supportive. Take 1 more breath. Nice yogi, hands down to the mat. We're going to step that left foot in, right leg extends, pyramid pose. So right hip draws back, and again, hands to blocks. If that feels good. Chin towards your chest. Breathe in, exhale out. And inhale, lift up to a flat spine. Extend the arms, lift the chest, step the left foot up to meet the right. And bend your knees, sink your hips. Utkatasana, fierce pose or chair pose. Like move back a little bit. Inhale, tall mountain. Hands to heart, exhale. So again, coming back, centering yourself, connecting your feet down. Leaning into your breath. Coming into a little balance. We're going to do tree on each side. This is my left foot. My left foot is going to plant down. The right, so tree. There's different levels of tree. You can have your toe, the ball of the foot on the floor, right? You can slide it up to your calf. I am not a fan of the foot on the knee. A lot of yogis feel that that's perfectly acceptable. My personal stance is I don't do that for me. You take it wherever it is you want. Or right foot to the left inner thigh. So we lengthen our spine, we soften our shoulders, whatever kind of tree you want. Arms can reach, they can float. 2 more breaths. Trying to find stillness or calmness in a situation that feels unsteady or unstable. Right? Yeah. 1 more breath. Nice, everyone. Float that right foot down to the mat. Right foot plants down, left foot. And again, it can be here. So for those of you who did ballet, right, this is more like a coupe, except for the toes on the floor. You can calf, again, I don't do the knee. You take it however it is you feel is good. So that right leg presses into the left foot presses into the right leg. And however you want your tree. Maybe if you're stable, you want a little more cactus, a little more back bend. You can take your hands back behind you, wrapping the shoulders, interlacing the knuckles, sliding them down. We've got 2 more breaths. Coming out of it, and then coming back in. And 1 more deep breath in. Exhale, left foot releases down, arms by your sides. Palms turn out if that's available, or palms forward. Arms sweep out and up, inhale. And then swan dive forward. Inhale, flat spine. And exhale, take the left foot, step it back. Bring the left knee down to the mat. This is a good place for your blocks. Coming into a low lunge, let the hips shift forward. The knee is either over the ankle or a little bit behind it. We want the back knee, the left knee, to be behind the hip. So we don't want to be directly on top of that knee, not just yet. Slide your shoulders down, draw the chest forward. Let the chest lift. Take a deep breath in. And exhale, press into your hands, slowly extend that right leg. Palms on either side of that leg and fold down. Maybe rib cage is on that thigh. Maybe get some space between your fingers. Maybe the chin drops a little deeper toward your chest. Breathing in and out. A nice deep stretch on that right outer hip. 1 more breath in. Exhale, sink. And then as you inhale, maybe come onto your fingertips, let the arms extend, lift the chest. I'm going to slide my right foot in a little bit as I bend into that right knee. Left hand plants, right arm sweeps back, out and up. So we did this standing, right? Now we're taking this down a little bit. And exhale, right hand down to the inside of the right foot. Walk the right foot out. Low lizard. Option, forearms to blocks. And place your blocks in line with your ankle. And come on onto your forearms. You can walk the right foot out. You can turn the toes out. You can roll to the outer edge of the right foot. You can take this however it is you need it. So my left hip flexor apparently is a little more open today, so my left thigh is coming down towards the mat. But if you're on your forearms, right, we're not sinking down. The shoulders are not pressing into the neck and ears. So there's a lift here. So 1 more deep breath here. And this is a really deep stretch for the inner hips, inner thighs. It can be a very emotional release. So if you have some emotions coming to the surface, just be aware of that. And if you're on your forearms or on your blocks, climb yourselves up. If the right toes are turned out, lift the right foot, turn it to face the top of the mat. I'm going to move my blocks. Right hand to the inside of the right foot, left palm plants down, tuck the left toes under, press through that left heel, left knee lifts. Spin that left foot down and just walk around. Bring your feet parallel to the long edge of your mat and take a wide stance, forward fold. My forearms are on the mat. You can be up onto your hands. I just need to step my left foot back a little bit. And take a few breaths. Let the knees soften if that feels good to you. Oh, sorry. And if you're on your forearms, climb up onto your hands. Adjust your feet if you need. Lift the left toes. Turn them to face the back of your mat. Make your way around into a low lunge here. Right knee comes down. So let those hips shift forward. Left knee is either over the ankle or a little bit behind it. Right palm plants down and we spin open to the left. And left hand comes down to the inside of the left foot. Again, walk the left foot out. Take this as you need it. Turn your toes out, roll to the outer edge of the foot, draw the chest forward. How does this feel good? Maybe you want to sway side to side on this side. And we'll take 3 more breaths here. Feel free to close your eyes if that feels available to you. Sometimes closing our eyes cuts off the exterior distractions and just brings you a little more inward. So if you're on your forearms, climb back up onto your hands. If you've turned the left toes out, turn them to face the top of the mat so the left hand is on the inside of the left foot. Tuck the right toes under, pressing through that right heel, right knee lifts. Right foot spins down again, come back to that wide stance, forward fold. And take this wherever it is your body wants to go. One more slow breath in. Release it out. Soften your knees if they're not already soft. Place your hands on the mat underneath your shoulders. Arms extend. Lift the chest. And start to walk your feet in a little bit. And then one knee at a time. Bring it down. And just have a seat. Somewhere towards the top center of your mat. And let your hands rest on your thighs. Let your chin draw down. And very gently rock your head side to side. So ear to shoulder, chin to chest, ear to shoulder. So the ear draws down towards the shoulders don't rise to meet the ears. Let your chin come down to your chest. Release your hands by your sides. Let your legs start to extend. Keep your chin down. And just let your knees fall out and let the body fold to the inside of your thighs and melt. A nice release in the spine. A little space between the vertebrae. So the back of the body represents our past. So these eclipses have a tendency to eclipse things out or cut things out. So let's kind of help with that. Let's open up the past and start to allow ourselves to release whatever it is, right, that we're holding on to or that we don't even know we're holding on to. And just let it make its way out. Draw your chin to your chest, roll yourself up, inhale. And then just roll all the way down, exhale. Bend your knees, feet to the mat, arms reach overhead. Interlace your fingers, press your palms away, but slide the shoulders down. And 2 breaths. very similar to what we did at the top of our practice, although that was hands to elbows, but similar in sensation. And gently draw your knees into your chest. Release the interlacing of your fingers. Slide your arms out to the sides. Lower them to shoulder height or lower. Float your knees over to the right side. Let the left palm turn up. And let the left fingers and the right fingers, let them soften. Let your eyes get nice and quiet. Let your body just melt into the earth. And then on your inhale, come back to center. Reconnect the spine to the earth. And exhale, float your knees over to the left. Let your eyes get quiet. And this is where we allow gravity to do its thing. Right? Gravity is very grounding and anchoring. So let it anchor your body to the earth. And let it start to sink your eyes into their sockets and to soften the muscles in the body, starting with the forehead and the cheeks, the jaw, the neck, the chest, the arms, the torso. Come back to center. Inhale. Place your feet on the mat. We're coming into a low bridge. If you have a block, I invite you to place the block underneath your sacral spine. And then you can go for a version of legs up the wall. So just allow gravity to soften and to ground and to anchor the neck, the chest, the heart center, our rib cage, our lungs, our core, our hips and pelvis, the low back, our thighs, our hamstrings, our knees, our calves, our shins, ankles, feet, and toes. If you are in a full, if you are in a low bridge with your feet pressing into the earth without a block, start to release yourself down. If you are on the block with the legs up the wall version, start to bend your knees. Slowly release your feet to the mat. It is a slightly deeper release. And then release the block out. And as we began our practice, we end knees out to the sides, reclined cobbler's pose, Supta Baddha Konasana. Let us take one hand to our heart, one hand to our body. Draw a deep breath in and open your mouth. Exhale. And press it out. Call back in your intention. Maybe think about how you want to move through your day, how you want to move through life. Starting just with today, how do you want today to feel? How do you want to move through today? You want to be able to find calmness in the chaos. You want to have a sense of serenity. You want to move through the day with confidence. Do you want to move through the day with a sense of abundance? It's something to think about. Gently start to extend your legs long. Get some space between your feet. Maybe the feet go to the bottom corners of your mat. Release your arms by your sides, palms turn up. Take a deep breath in. And you're going to open the mouth, exhale, and surrender. And just rest. And as you rest, allow the energies of the universe and the moon to guide you to where you need to be. Where are you holding resistance? And with each exhale, see that resistance start to slip away. In the midst of breakthrough, there's always restriction and resistance. So the more you feel, the more that is being released, the greater the opportunities coming to you. Breathe in. Breathe out. And allow a sense of calmness to wash over your mind, to wrap around your heart, to illuminate your core, your sense of who you are. Allow that energy to wrap around your pelvis, opening up the doors to creativity, to joy, to fun, to play. And this energy wraps around our legs and down to our feet, and we are grounded in knowing exactly who we are, regardless of what comes our way. For a few more moments, or bring subtle movement back into your body. And gently start to draw your knees into your chest and allow yourself to float to one side. And rest in this final moments of calmness and peace. Know that this feeling is available to you at any time. Gently make your way back up onto your mat. Let your eyes remain quiet as your palms join at your heart center. And always we take these final moments of practice in gratitude. Gratitude I give to you for showing up, for saying yes to yourself, for watching this video, and for allowing this practice to unfold for you however it needs to unfold. Gratitude we give for life, this amazing gift, and for everything that it holds. And in closing, I bow in gratitude to you for joining me in practice, for watching this video, and for allowing me the honor of being just a small part of your journey through life. The light in me acknowledges and bows to the same light that lives within you. Thank you so much. Thumbs to the center of your forehead into your sixth chakra, illuminating the inner intuition, the inner compass. Deep breath in. Exhale, we fold forward in Namaste. So thank you so much for watching. If you have gotten anything out of this, maybe you like the video, maybe subscribe. If you have any questions about this or anything else that I do, put them in the comments or feel free to reach out to me. I will be back on next time. But until then, I always send you so much light and love from my soul to yours. Have a fabulous full moon release, everyone.